I've been working on the railroad. Hello everybody and welcome back to RS Trains. My name's Corey and this is a little bit of a different video, I guess, because instead of really running trains, we're going to be working on the layout that runs the trains, my little O, or to some people my big O scale layout. So in today's video we're kind of gonna get a behind the scenes of really what goes on. I tried to tackle quite a few projects at once, which didn't really leave me to getting very far. In today's video, I tried to get some ballasting done. I was able to screw down almost half the layout's track. I still have, you know, 2 whole loops to do, not like that's much or anything. I was able to get the bridge partially built for my upper loop, because here's why. I'm not sure if you noticed, but when the trains go by on the upper loop, like and exceed a speed limit, especially if they're heavy, the outer rail of the track, when the train is going around that bridge, likes to kind of weigh downward, which really concerns me that a train is gonna derail if I run something heavy like the Santa Fe's or my 681 on that loop, because if that derails, that's gonna hurt me a lot. So by building a nice wooden bridge, I am able to maintain that support and not have to worry about anything at all. No, I'm never gonna run fast trains on that loop. That Bud car I ran, if you watched the video a few days ago, that was a little fast. But for the upper loop, I have to put in a bus wire now, because before I was having no, I guess, electrical problems. But now, right around the switch where the 2 outer loops meet together, there is an electricity problem where the train is now starting to drop power when it goes over there, which means I need to install a bus wire to make sure power is, I guess, consistent around the entire layout. But before we get working on the layout, if you are new to my YouTube channel, please make sure you click that red subscribe button below so you don't miss out on any of my new uploads of videos just like this and the many other cool train videos I do featuring real life trains, model trains, live steam, anything railroad really if you think of. We got a lot of cool things planned this year, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on all those cool things. I'm not gonna stop saying it until I get there. We are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers this year and I can't do anything about it. Only you can make that happen by clicking that red subscribe button below. So what do you got to lose? But anyways, let's get to it. Now first, what I do before I start doing anything on my layout, before ballasting, before plastering, before bridge building, I always make sure my wiring is 100% correct, that nothing's going to go wrong. So I've been doing this for a while. I've been doing a lot of layout runs, videos you guys have soon watched, and as you can see, the trains run pretty well. Everything except for the upper loop runs flawlessly. So with me knowing that everything runs fine, it's time to screw down the track. Now for those who've been around long enough know that my layout isn't really just a plywood board, a carpet, and fast track on top. I have foam underneath that, so I use these screws here that help a lot. They're able to get through the fast track, the carpet, and the foam really well and hit the table, and they make a really nice anchor, I guess, to help keep the track down. Now it was really hard to screw down all this track because the drill bit doesn't exactly fit the screw's Phillips head. It would almost go in sometimes, and other times I had to really crank it really hard. And what I prefer screws over nails is if I ever need to pull the fast track up, I can just unscrew it and boom, there you go. Now this is the very first time I've ever ballasted any layout, because the layouts I've had before I have not gotten very far on. Ballasting's not that hard actually if you have fast track. Other tracks it takes a little more effort, like, you know, Atlas or maybe Gargraves, stuff like that, but fast track is pretty easy. Now what I use to keep my ballast down, and it works really well, instead of like, you know, your average Elmer's glues, I use my Woodland Scenics, oh my god, it's really hard to say. My Woodland Scenic cement, which really helps, I guess, hold the track down. And then for ballast, I combined 3 Woodland Scenics together, like dark, light, and then I guess a medium gray to kind of get that really nice blend of everything. But otherwise that, it's pretty simple. All I have to do is just kind of paint the side of the fast track in the center, between the center rail, with the acetic glue. Then I sprinkle the ballast on. I kind of make sure it's in the right spot, that it's not too heavy in some areas, that it's not too light in some areas. So I'm gonna try to get it just right. And then once after I put it on, I put just a dab more of scenic glue right on top of the ballast once it's done to make sure it has that extra thing, and it's holding together really well. Right next to me is the layout, and as I touch the ballast, like not a single rock moves unless if I really push my fingers down on it. So it holds together pretty well. I'm gonna put another coat of glue on tomorrow, which you guys won't be able to see because I'm putting this video out tonight. In the end, it really, really brings your layout to life. I recommend ballasting so much. And then especially if you put kind of grass on the side, weeds, old ties, or maybe stuff like that along the side, your model railroad will come to life so much more than you think. I guess if you like this behind the scenes layout video, make sure you give it a like before we move on. It just makes me know that I was able to reach somebody, and it tells that my audience really likes this video, and you know, you enjoyed it. So it just takes a quick second, boom, boom. Hey, I don't think you can like a video twice, but if you could, I wouldn't mind. But anyways, we'll continue on to the final segment. So then after a lengthy time of both screwing the track down and doing a partial little ballast just to kind of see how things go, we move on to the bridge. Now, the bridge is the hardest thing we'll cover in today's thing because the bridge has such a unique shape. So what we had to do for this is we couldn't come up with, I guess, a very easy way to do this. What we decided to do to get the plywood cut out exactly for the track shape is to tape black paper to the tracks to make sure they wouldn't wiggle out of place. Because you know, model railroaders, you especially know, if the track moves just the slightest bit out, it could screw up your whole operation. So by trying to tape the track to the paper, we tried to make sure that rails wouldn't wiggle the slightest, and we can get a much more accurate cut of how the bridge is going to come out. We put the track on the ground on top of the plywood board, and then we screwed the track with the black paper onto the piece of plywood board. Then after that, we brought the plywood board into the workshop, and with the jigsaw, we cut the track out, which was a really, really hard process. Like, things can be, like, the slightest little lines can be uneven, the paper's getting in the way, all that stuff. So then after that, we got our little bridge piece together, we got it all nice and sanded, which I don't think I have footage of, but it's really smooth on the sides, you'd be surprised. It's almost like a stair railing or something. It's really nice, but it's too bad that's gonna be covered up since we want to give it a more accurate bridge look than just a piece of plywood with legs underneath it. And now it gives the upper loop bridge section so much more stability. I don't have to worry about derailments happening or really that whole section, because that whole section really scared me. The bridge trestles were not screwed in at all, so I don't know why I was really running a train on it. I know you guys would probably like to see triple train action instead of double, but it was really kind of scary to run over that section because let's say a train derailed and knocked out the trestle segment without me knowing, and I run a train down over there, it could just fall off and wreck everything. Also, what I'm going to do with the plywood is that it was hard before to build, I guess, a wooden trestle look. I mean, I don't have anything under the track, and as you know, old wooden trestles have the whole framework underneath the pair of railroad tracks, then the legs, not just two rails running over supports. So with the plywood now up, we can kind of dress it up, we can build a structure underneath it to give it the much more lively wooden trestle look it deserves. Anyways, this will be wrapping up today's, I guess, quick little layout update video. I know it's not a really major video. I'm sorry for those, I guess, who were disappointed by it, but I want to watch trains. But trust me, we got some cool Lionel videos coming, and I got a surprise coming along the way. It's a little locomotive, a post-war locomotive. You guys are gonna love it, and it goes with ding ding ding. Some of you may already know what I'm talking about, but it's currently on its way, and I'll be doing a video on it soon. I know you guys like it, and it's a very much more hard to find locomotive that was made in 1949 by Lionel, which will be pretty fun. So I guess if those few hints, you may be able to guess what's coming my way, so stay tuned for that video. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next video, so stay tuned. Bye-bye.